I just found out that the 2014 Rolex Iracing 2.4 Hours of Daytona is actually going to be 2.4 hours long. That means it's time for a Rutgers Rant! Pew 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 pew, laser laser laser, pew 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 pew! Let's do some math. If 2 hours is 120 minutes, and zero point 0.4 hours is 24 minutes, then how come since 2011, the iRacing 2.4 Hours of Daytona has been 160 minutes long? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. But that's the way it's been. Since 2011, including 2012, 2013, the iRacing 2.4 Hours of Daytona has been 160 minutes long. Want to know how it happened? In 2010, iRacing did not yet have the ability to do timed races, but they had just signed an agreement with the Grand Am series, and they wanted to show off their new Riley DP. So they decided to host the Rolex 2.4 Hours at Daytona, a 90-lap race using the Riley DP at the Daytona road course. The race actually took about 2.5 hours. 90 laps at about 1 minute and 40 seconds a lap turns out to be 2.5 hours. So, in 2011, when they had the ability to do timed races, they wanted to make it just a little bit longer than last year's race. So they did the Rolex 2.4 Hours at Daytona, a 2-hour, 40-minute race using the Riley DP and the Ford Mustang. But they kind of screwed up. You see, they had it set for 90 laps or 2.4 hours. So the top split only went about 90 laps. But from about the middle splits on down, they all went 2.4 hours long. And ever since then, the race has been 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But this year, because the 2.4 Hours at Daytona is part of the Road Warriors series, the race will only be 144 minutes long. And I don't like that. You know, one of the things I really like about iRacing is its tradition. You can go back and look at every race that's ever been run in the history of iRacing. That's how I found the 2.4 Hours of Daytona in 2010. And the results of the 2.4 Hours of Daytona in 2011. That's how I know about the history of the race. It's because of iRacing's archives and the tradition that these once-a-year events like the 2.4 Hours of Daytona brings. And this year, we're still having the race, but it's changed. And I can't really say it's changed for the better, except for it's named properly now. I mean, we're taking a race with a really rich history. Just ask Sean Cole and Darren Ganji of Sim Racing Tonight how they feel about the 2.4 Hours of Daytona. It's that race that people look forward to. It's that race that people keep coming back to. And now your stories about the race are going to change. Yes, we're only losing 16 minutes, or exactly 10% of the race. But that's not the point. The point is, the race was always 2.4 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes, and now it's 2.4 hours. Actually, 2.4 hours. It's 144 minutes. Now, I know why iRacing is doing this. For the past couple of years, this race has been the only 2.4 hour race that iRacing hosts. All the other World Tour events were never 2.4 hours long. There's the 120 minutes of Sebring. There's the full-length IndyCar race at Mid-Ohio. There's always the race in the F1 car, which is not 2.4 hours long, it's a number of laps. And there was the Petit Le Mans, which was 2.5 hours. So it was okay to make the 2.4 hours of Daytona 2 hours and 40 minutes because there was no other race to really get it confused with. And this year, with there being 2.4 hours of Spa and 2.4 hours of Zolder, it kind of doesn't make sense for 2.4 to mean 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I understand why Iracing's doing it, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
You've got wheel damage. Your car has too much damage. We've got to fix it. They say you cut the course. You have to slow down and give up the time gained. Your car is leaking fluid. You blew the engine.
That's the end of my show. Donk.